Am I traveling and camping on a durable surface? What's up guys, Devin here with Backcountry Exposure. The video that we are doing today is to talk about the second principle of Leave No Trace, which is to travel and camp on durable surfaces. So in a previous video we talked about the first principle, which is plan ahead and prepare. And the second principle is, like I just said, travel and camp on durable surfaces. So there is a lot of detail that you can go into about this principle, but I'm going to keep it pretty brief because I would prefer that people really go onto the leavenotrace.org website and read about the specifics there. But to get into some specifics about traveling and camping on durable surfaces is exactly what it sounds like. When you are hiking, you really need to make sure that you stay on the trail if there is a designated trail. And the hope for that is that you're not creating any more impact on the area than has already been impacted by a trail being put there. Which trails allow us to be able to get into the backcountry and enjoy the backcountry, but make sure that you do stay on the trail. And that goes with you in the desert or in the mountains or wherever you're at. You need to make sure that you're not cutting through switchbacks and creating your own trail just because the switchback might take a little more effort or a little bit more hiking time. And then as far as hiking in the desert, you have to pay really close attention to not busting the crust. And what I mean by that is there is an organism that helps with erosion in the desert called cryptobiotic soil. And cryptobiotic soil is very, very important to the desert ecosystem, and it helps control the way that the desert erodes from water and wind. And it's a living organism, and you'll see, I'll put up some pictures, but you'll see little black bumps of this soil, and that is there on purpose, and it protects the desert. So it's really important that you don't bust the crust. It's not something that you run around and jump on top of and see how your footprint looks in it. It's very important to, like I said, the desert's ecosystem and that habitat. So don't destroy the crust. As far as camping on durable surfaces, that gets into a whole load of things as well. You have to pay really close attention to where you decide to build camp for the night. In very popular areas, there are already plenty of places to camp. People have destroyed the vegetation because of such high use, and you'll see that there is no vegetation on the ground. I mean, in this area, nobody camps up here because it's not allowed. And there's plenty of grasses, and there's leaves and everything on the ground. But in those high use areas, there isn't any vegetation. And so when you go to decide where you're going to set up camp for the night, you want to be in an area that isn't going to cause a lot of impact. So part of that is also how many people are in your group. If, let's say, for example, you've got a group of like 8 people, and you come into an area that is pretty small, but you're going to have like 3 or 4 tents, and just think about how many footsteps are going to be spread around that camp within like 30 minutes time. And that's a lot of impact to an area. So if it's not a durable area, and there's some grasses or things that have to be cleared or whatever it is, like that can cause a lot of really bad impact to an area. You have to pay attention to where you are camping in relation to a water source, because you don't want to be the person that contaminates water or causes any issues for that area, especially with wildlife, because in an area where there's water, you don't want to camp in a spot where you're impeding where wildlife might be and what's normal for them. Just because you have the access to the area doesn't mean that you have reign over what the wildlife do in their natural surrounding and habitat. So like I said, jump on the Leave No Trace website, which is leavenotrace.org, and read about camping and traveling on durable surfaces. And hi, Coop. Hi, buddy. And that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching.